Hello students, today we're going to be talking about multiplying fractions. You should have your positive rational numbers student handout number 7 notes page in front of you. We're going to begin at the very top right here in this box that says multiplying fractions and go through the step-by-step process. Looking at our first bullet point, in order to multiply fractions in mixed numbers, each number must be written as a proper or improper fraction. So in this first space here, I want you to write improper. Improper fraction. Our mixed numbers must be converted to improper fractions. And whole numbers must be written over 1. Okay, so for example, if you have, for your mixed number, 2 1/4, that needs to be converted to an improper fraction before you can begin multiplying. So you need to do your two-step process of multiplying your denominator with your whole number. 4 times 2 is 8. You take that product and add it to your numerator, giving you 9/4, okay? And then if you have a whole number, such as 8, okay, that needs to be written over 1 before you can begin multiplying your fractions. So, steps for multiplying fractions. Number 1, change each mixed number to an improper fraction. Number 2, you multiply your numerators. You are going to then multiply your denominators and simplify your fractions. So now that we have gone through our steps of solving multiplying fractions, we are now going to practice. So down here, looking at example number 1, you have 2/3 times 4/5. We're going to follow our steps. So starting with our numerators, I'm going to multiply straight across. I've got 2/4, or not 2/4, excuse me, 2 times 4. We know 2 times 4 is 8. And then we're going to multiply our denominators. 3 times 5, which we know is 15. And then we would simplify. In order to simplify, we're looking for a number that evenly divides into our numerator and our denominator. Our numerator is an even number, but 15 is an odd number. So at this time, there is nothing that we could evenly divide into 8/15. So that is going to be our answer, 8/15. For example number 2, you're going to do the same thing. We've got 6/7 times 2/7. We're going to first multiply our numerators together. 6 times 2 is 12. You're then going to multiply your denominators together. 7 times 7 is 49, giving us 12/49. Again, we would simplify, so we're looking for a number that evenly divides into 12 and 49. 12 is an even number, so we know it would be divisible by 2. 49 is an odd number, therefore it would not be evenly divisible by 2. 12 is divisible by 3, but 49 is not evenly divisible by 3. So therefore, 12/49 is going to be our answer. That is in simplest form. Okay. Looking at example or question number 3, what do you notice about the product when multiplying two fractions that are less than 1? Okay, so if you were, for example, to have 1/4 times 1/2, both of those are less than 1, and you were to multiply those together, we know 1 times 1 is 1, and 4 times 2 is 8. We would notice that our product is actually less than our original two fractions. If you have an 1/8, that is less than 1/4 and less than 1/2. Okay, so that would be our answer here. They are less. Okay. Continuing on with our practice, looking at example number 4. Okay, we are given 4/9 times 3/4. We're going to follow our steps for multiplying fractions. So we're first going to look at our numerators. 4 times 3, we know is 12. And then we're going to multiply our denominators. So 9 times 4 is 36, giving us 12 over 36. Now we're going to go ahead and simplify this fraction down. So we're looking for a number that evenly divides into our numerator and our denominator. It has to be the same number. So 12 is an even number since it ends in a 2. And our denominator 36 is also an even number since it ends in a 6. So I know that I can divide this fraction evenly by 2 over 2 to start off with. Okay, whenever we divide by 2, we're just simply cutting a number in half. So half of 12 would be 6, and half of 36 would be 18. Okay, I can solve that over here. 36 divided by 2. 2 goes into 3 one time evenly with 1 left over. Drop down your 6. 2 goes into 16 8 times, giving us 18. Okay. So now I have 6 over 18. Those are, again, both even numbers since my numerator is 6 and my denominator is 18. So therefore, I know I can divide both of those numbers evenly by 2. 6 divided by 2 is 3, and 18 divided by 2 is 9. Now looking at this fraction, 3/9, I know that they're both odd numbers, so therefore I can't divide them by 2, but I can move on to my next number, which is 3. And 3 is evenly divisible by itself. 3 goes into 3 once. 9 divided by 3 is going to be 3, giving me 1/3 as my final answer. So 4/9 times 3/4 would get you 1/3. Looking at question number 6. A recipe requires 2½ cups of sugar. If Mrs. Marina is going to make 1/2 of the recipe, then how much sugar does she need? Okay, so we are going to take our 2½ cups of sugar that a recipe requires. 2½. Okay. Mrs. Marina is going to make 1/2 of the recipe, so we're multiplying it by half. Okay, because remember, when we multiply by a fraction, our product is actually going to be less than the fractions that we multiplied by. And that's what we're trying to do. We're trying to cut Miss Marina's recipe in half. So that's why we're multiplying by a half. Remember, my first steps in order to multiply these fractions together are to first convert my mixed number to an improper fraction. It has to be in fraction form. So I'm going to multiply my denominator with my whole number. 2 times 2 is 4. I'm going to take that product and I'm going to add it to my numerator, which would give me 5. So I'm going to go ahead and rewrite that fraction. 5 over 2 times 1/2. Okay, I'm trying to cut this recipe in half. So I'm now going to multiply my numerators together. 5 times 1 is 5. And my denominators, 2 times 2 is 4, giving me 5 over 4. Now this fraction here is an improper fraction because my numerator, 5, is bigger than my denominator, 4. So I need to convert this, or simplify it, down to a mixed number because I can't just leave my fraction as 5 over 4. So in order to do that, I'm going to divide 5 by 4. Okay. Since 5 is my top number, it's going inside of my division box. 4 goes into 5 one time evenly, giving me a remainder of 1. This remainder here becomes the numerator of my new fraction, 1, and my original denominator of 4 stays the same. So if Marina makes half of the recipe, she will need 1 full cup of sugar and 1/4. And that would be your answer. For questions 5 and 7, I want you to go ahead and solve those 2 problems on your own following the steps that we have provided for you and talked about in this lesson. Take a picture of it with your laptop and submit it to Schoology.